Coming to you from an undisclosed underground location, this is Trend Comics presents the Green Hornet Radio. The Green Hornet is a fictional mass crime fighter created in 1936 by George Trendle and Fran Striker, with input from radio director James Jewell. Though various incarnations of the Hornet exist, most versions has the Green Hornet as the alter ego of Britt Reid, wealthy young publisher of the Daily Sentinel newspaper by day. But by night, clad in long green overcoat, gloves, fedora, and mask, Reid fights crimes as a mysterious vigilante known as the Green Hornet. He's accompanied by his loyal and similarly masked partner and confidant Kato, who drives their advanced car, the Black Beauty. Though both the police and general public believe the Hornet to be a wanted criminal, Reid uses that perception to help him infiltrate the underworld, leaving behind for the police and criminals any incriminating evidence he has found. In the original radio incarnation, Britt Reid is the son of Dan Reid Jr., the nephew of John Reid, the Lone Ranger. This makes the Green Hornet the grandnephew of the Lone Ranger. The relationship is alluded to at least once during the radio show when Dan Reid visits his son to question him on why Britt has never captured the Hornet. Upon learning the truth behind his son's dual identity, Dan Reid recalls his days in Texas with his uncle, the Lone Ranger. The series originated on January 31st, 1936 on WXYZ. WXYZ was also the same station that brought you the Lone Ranger. The series ran from November 16th, 1939 through September 8th, 1950. It briefly returned to the airwaves on September 10th to December 5th, 1952. Distinguished by its use of classical music for themes and bridges, the Green Hornet was one of radio's best-known adventure shows. The vigilante nature of the hero's operation quickly resulted in the Green Hornet being declared an outlaw himself, and Britt Reid played to it. Green Hornet became thought of as the city's biggest criminal, allowing him to walk into suspected racketeering offices and ply them for information, or even demanding a cut of their profits. In doing so, the Green Hornet usually provoked them into attacking him to remove his competition, giving him license to defeat and leave them for the police without raising suspicion. Deep underground in an undisclosed location, this is Trend Comics present The Green Hornet. The Green Hornet is a 1940 black and white 13-chapter movie serial from Universal Pictures. Produced by Henry McRae and directed by Ford Leahy, it starred Gordon Jones, Wade Butler, Key Luke, and Ann Nigel. The series is based on the Green Hornet radio series by George Trendle and Fran Striker. Britt Reid, publisher of the Sentinel newspaper, is secretly the vigilante criminal crime fighter, the Green Hornet. He and his Korean valet, Kato, investigate and expose several seemingly separate criminal rackets. This leads them into continued conflict with the Chief, the mastermind behind the criminal syndicate controlling those rackets. Originally produced as a 13-chapter movie serial, The Green Hornet consisted of Chapter 1, The Tunnel of Terror, Chapter 2, The Thundering Terror. Chapter 3, Flying Coffin. Chapter 4, Pillar of Flame. Chapter 5, The Time Bomb. Chapter 6, Highways of Peril. Chapter 7, Bridge of Disaster. Chapter 8, Dead or Alive. Chapter 9, The Hornet Trap. Chapter 10, Bullet and Balance. Chapter 11, Disaster Rides the Rails. Chapter 12, Panic in the Zoo. And Chapter 13, Doom of the Underworld. From an undisclosed location deep underground, this is Trend Comics presents The Green Hornet Strikes Again. The Green Hornet Strikes Again is a 1941 Universal black and white 15-chapter movie serial based upon the Green Hornet radio series by George Trendle and Fran Striker. It is the sequel to Universal's earlier serial, The Green Hornet from 1940. This was the 117th serial, the 49th sound, of the 137 that Universal produced. The plot involves racketeering and is unusual for a movie serial by having mostly standalone chapters instead of each running into the next. This was also the case with Universal's first Green Hornet serial. Wealthy publisher Britt Reid and his trusted Korean valet and sidekick Kato disguised themselves as crime-fighting vigilantes, the Green Hornet and Kato. They battled the growing power of a ruthless crime lord, Boss Brogan, and his myriad racketeers across the city, all of which have strong links to the unfriendly foreign power. The Green Hornet Strikes Again stars Warren Hull as Britt Reid and his alter ego, the Green Hornet. Hull replaced Gordon Jones in this role and also provided the voice of the Hornet instead of radio voice Al Hodge in the original series. Wayne Bolter as Michael Axford, Britt Reid's bodyguard. And Nigel as Lenore Casey Case, Britt Reid's secretary. Guy Luke as Kato, the Green Hornet sidekick, and Pierce Watkins as Boss Brogan, racketeer. The Green Hornet Strikes Again, 1941, 15-chapter serial featured the following chapters. Chapter 1, Flaming Havoc. Chapter 2, The Plunge of Peril. Chapter 3, The Avenging Heavens. Chapter 4, A Night of Terror. Chapter 5, Shattering Doom. Chapter 6, The Fatal Flash. Chapter 7, Death in the Clouds. Chapter 8, Human Targets. Chapter 9, The Tragic Crash. Chapter 10, Blazing Fury. Chapter 11, Thieves of the Night. Chapter 12, Crashing Barriers. Chapter 13, The Flaming Inferno. Chapter 14, Racketeering Vultures. And the finale, Chapter 15, Smashing the crime rate.
Who's the boss of the outfit?
I don't belong to no outfit. I'm just a hired hand here.
Here's a man. But he's dead.
Why, it's Gall. He's the man who's supposed to have bought all this property.
Supposed to? What do you mean, supposed to?
Well, you got me. There's something crooked about the whole deal.
You're not badly hurt, sir.
No. But it was a close call.
Too bad that accident happened to Mr. Fulton's property.
Yes. The loss of the rig is a serious blow. But he's got his well back. And he'll have his note back soon.
You got the note?
Yes. I'm going to give it to Fulton as soon as I get back to the apartment. You wake him up. I'll wait in the garage for your signal.
Are you awake, Mr. Fulton?
Yes, Kato. I must have been very tired to have slept so long.
If you will step into the living room, I will prepare some food.
Thank you, Kato. Is Mr. Reid in?
Not yet, sir.
All right.
Hold it. The Green Hornet. Get away from that door. Back up to the wall, both of you. Here's that note you were tricked into signing.
How did you get it?
Never mind that. My getting it destroyed your rig.
My rig was destroyed.
Yes, but your well is undamaged, and you still have a month to get it back into production and pay off your indebtedness.
Why, this note, when I signed it, was due on the 31st.
It was changed to the 1st by means of disappearing ink.
What's your interest in this?
That's my business.
Well, it's my business to know what you expect to get out of this.
Get in the other room, both of you. I'll handle this spalpeen. I finally caught you, Hornet. Now I'll soon settle you. Hold this door shut.
But the Hornet!
Hold this door shut till I get me gun. Stand back. Shorty's Michael Axford will take over now. Well, he's locked at the spalpeen. Your keys, Kato. Hurry. You butterfingers, give way. Come on, open it. Hurry up. Cut it. Kato, nobody can walk through solid walls unless he's a spook. But he's done it.
You think the Hornet is supernatural?
I wouldn't put it past him. And to think I was face to face with him and me without a gun.
What's all the excitement, boys?
The Green Hornet was here, himself in person, and got away.
What could he possibly want here?
He was looking for me.
It calls for an explanation.
All was about that note I signed. He gave it back to me.
Let's all go in the other room where we can sit down and talk it over. So, the Green Hornet brought you back your note, eh, Fulton?
Yes, Reed, but now that I have it, what shall I do with it?
We'll pay it back when it comes due.
You're right. The extra 30 days my note has to run will enable me to save my investment. Thanks for all you've done for me, Reed. I certainly appreciate it.
Good night. Good night.
Oh, sure, 'tis a black day for me, so it is. To have the Green Hornet so close to me and then let him slip through me fingers.
Ah, Michael, if you don't catch the Green Hornet, I don't know who will.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Boy, that was a narrow escape, Kato. I didn't expect Axford back so soon.
Yes, and I never knew Axford to be without his gun before.
I wonder how much longer I'll be able to keep up this dual role.
Long enough to finish what you have set out to do, I hope, Mr. Britt.
Had some close calls lately, but I've got to keep up this thing until I run down the head of the crime syndicate.
Can you imagine that, boss? They estimate last night's haul at over $100,000.
And not one of the hijackers was caught?
Nary a one. They vanished into the night just like the Green Hornet does. Say, that gives me an idea. Do you suppose that...
Michael, the Green Hornet would have to be a Superman to get mixed up in half of the things you accuse him of.
Laugh if you want to. But it's my theory the Hornet's got something to do with this hijacking racket.
I'm willing to bet that he hasn't.
How are you going to prove he hasn't?
How are you going to prove he has?
Well, I...
Michael, you should know better than to slander the Green Hornet when Case is around.
You know, sometimes I almost believe she's in cahoots with the night-riding devil.
Well, he'd better stay out of this deal. I heard the police were tipped off.
The police?
Yeah. The state police were tipped off this morning. There's going to be a big hijack job pulled off on the coast road tonight.
I'll tell Gunnigan to have you cover it.
Thanks, boss. I'll go out and get more dope on it right now.
Oh, wait a minute, Michael.
Well, don't you think I ought to go with the kid?
No, I have another plan.
What's that?
Michael, that hijack gang is very efficient. They proved that by the size of the haul and by the fact that not one of them was captured.
So?
Well, it just doesn't seem reasonable that a gang like that would allow a tip-off.
Well, I know, but the state coppers got one.
Sure they did. But how do we know it isn't a phony? Misleading the police so that they can pull a job somewhere else.
By golly, it might be.
Now, what other road would be left unguarded?
Well, the inland highway, of course.
Yes, that's it. And I'm betting that's where the action's going to be tonight.
Well, I better tell Lowry that.
No, let him go. I may be wrong. So we can cover both roads between us, you see.
Well, what time will we be leaving?
Right after dinner. We'll hit the inland highway just before dark, and we'll patrol it from one end to the other.
You stay here. I'm going to watch those fellows from the edge of the bank.
I'll be right on the job if anything happens. Here it comes.
All right, you, get out. Come on. I'll do as you're told, buddy, and you won't get hurt. All right, you guys, tie him up and put him in that truck.
I was right, Michael. They're hijacking that truck.
The nerve of them, right there on the public highway.
Yeah, it's their nerve that helps them get away with it. Looks like an ordinary breakdown, transferring goods from one truck to the other.
Well, shouldn't we be doing something about it?
Now, for the time being, we'll just watch. They finished. Now they'll drive the empty truck somewhere and abandon it.
Well, what'll we be doing about it?
We'll try to find out where they take the stolen goods, if we can. We'll trail them at a safe distance. There's a car tailless with the lights out.
Oh, yeah? We'll find out who's in it.
Mike, I'll be back.
Stop that shooting, you fools! Get out of that car.
Well, if it isn't my old friend Axford. And the other guy must have been Britt Reid. Well, Dolan will get him.
Says you.
Get over that car.
What was that? Must have been him. We missed him.
Well, come on.
Why don't we leave this guy in ditch? Because we can use him to trap Reid. If Dolan and Lefty don't get him, what do we do with Reid's car? Leave it to the other boys. Quit asking questions. Help me get this mug in the car.
Mr. Reid's apartment.
Hello, Kato.
Yes, Mr. Reid.
Bring Black Beauty and the Green Hornet outfit. Pick me up just off the inland highway, a mile north of Greendale. And hurry.
Yes, sir, at once.
Cut your lights. Turn to the right and keep going until you come to a big farmhouse.
Who are you? The Green Hornet.
What do you want?
Where did the other men go?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would. And I'm going to, even if I have to use this gun.
No, don't. I'll tell. They went to the Harbor Road after a truckload of silk.
Who's in charge of the job?
A fellow named DeLuca.
Who's his boss?
I don't know. DeLuca rented this place for me, and that's the only one I know.
Hey!
Dirty devils. I'll fix them.
There they are. I recognize their car. They're just getting away with that truck. After them. Stop this truck.